Breaking the cycle. Welcome to Short Stories with Lola. My mother says I was a troublesome child. I would throw unnecessary tantrums, and she was a bit surprised because I was the middle child, but she chalked it up to the fact that I was a boy. I got into trouble at school, a lot, and I mean at every stage. My father, however, didn't complain much. He always blamed my mother, but never really disciplined me. This followed me to college and beyond. I was angry all the time. Not the kind of anger that explodes once in a while and fades away. No, this was a constant thing, a simmering rage that followed me everywhere. It poisoned everything. My family, my friendships, my relationships with women, and even my work. The worst part? I didn't see the problem. I'm good at my job. I'm an engineer. I built a solid career. I'm not a billionaire, but I'm not struggling either. I had convinced myself that because I was successful, I didn't need to fix anything. But I was wrong. As I looked around, my friends were getting married, starting families, and finding happiness while I was still here, alone. I had burned so many bridges with my anger and impatience. Some friends had cut me off completely, and I don't blame them. But one friend, one close friend, he never left. No matter how badly I treated him, he'd tell me, "You need help, man. Go to therapy. Ask God for guidance." I'd brush him off saying, "I'm a black man. We don't do therapy." And as for God, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't believe in needing some higher power to fix my life. But my friend, he didn't give up on me. He stopped pushing, but he stayed close, still dropping little hints here and there. I didn't realize it at the time, but he was being patient with me in a way I didn't deserve. And one day, everything changed. He came over to my place like he'd done plenty of times before. I was in the shower, and when I got out, I heard the TV on. He was watching some sermon. Normally, I didn't care about that stuff, but for some reason, the words hit me differently that day. The sermon was about relationships, how we handle them, how we ruin them, how we can fix them. As I listened, something inside me started to crack open. I couldn't explain it, but I felt a pressure in my chest that I'd never felt before. I sat down on the floor, still wrapped in my towel, and before I knew it, I was crying. But it wasn't just crying. I broke down hard. I sobbed like I hadn't in years. The kind of crying that leaves you feeling like you've been cracked open, like everything inside you is spilling out and you have no control over it. My friend heard me from the other room. He came in, saw me sitting there, and without saying a word, knelt down beside me. He took my hand and started to pray, not with force or judgment, but with love and understanding. I can't explain what happened in that moment, but it felt like everything I had been holding down for years finally came out. The anger, the pain, the loneliness, it all rushed out, and I couldn't stop it. It was as if all those years of bottled up emotions were being released at once. That was the day everything changed. Since then, I've started therapy, and for the first time, I'm actually talking to God. Not just going to church to check a box out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to heal. I'm having real conversations with Him, building an intimate relationship for the first time in my life. Therapy has opened my eyes to things I didn't want to admit before. I've come to realize that my anger was inherited. It came from my childhood, from things I had buried for years. You see, my father was an angry man. He used to beat my mother. He was violent, verbally and emotionally manipulative, and he'd make her feel small. His rage was fueled by alcohol. As a child, I witnessed it all, and somehow, I thought that was normal. That's what I learned about being a man. that control, anger, and manipulation were just part of the deal. It wasn't until therapy that I understood how deeply my father's actions had scarred me. I'm the only boy in my family. I have 3 sisters, and I hadn't spoken to one of them for about 5 years because of some fight that wasn't even worth it. But now we're working on healing. We've started talking again, trying to rebuild what I broke. I'm cutting back on drinking. I'm not giving it up completely, but it's different now. I only drink on social occasions, never to get drunk or black out. I don't use alcohol as an escape anymore. I'm still working on myself, still figuring things out. But for the first time, I'm really trying. I've learned that I can't jump into a relationship just to fill a void. I want to get right with myself first. I'm taking the time to build my relationship with God, to find peace within myself before I can even think about bringing someone else into my life. I know now that being whole on my own is the only way I'll be ready for the right partner when she comes along. And you know what? My dad's even in therapy with me now. We're working on our relationship too. I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are, father and son, both trying to be better men, working to break the cycles of anger that defined our family for so long. My father is taking the steps to make peace with his past, hoping to heal before he leaves this world. It's not easy. I still have a long way to go, but I'm on this journey now and I'm not turning back. I'm learning how to live without that constant anger. I'm learning how to forgive myself, how to make amends with those I've hurt, and how to let go of the past. And most importantly, I'm learning how to find peace. Peace within myself, peace with others, and peace with God. This is my journey towards healing, towards wholeness, and ultimately towards a life that is not just lived, but lived well. I'm still in the middle of it, but I can tell you this, for the first time, I'm finally free. I look forward to the day I become a father, and when I do, I will raise my children in love, giving them better than what I experienced. Thank you for watching and listening. This is Short Stories with Lola. God bless.